All right, guys, we are back with the second part. Right now, Jess is looking up. So I got this.
Totally off subject.
It's totally off subject, but today I got this. What did I get?
A notebook.
I got a notebook, and it's like all Harry Potter, and she was like, "I'm Slytherin," which is very accurate. But she's now looking up her house again, which I have a feeling it's not going to change. And if it does change, I would say Ravenclaw, would be your second. But definitely Slytherin.
Ravenclaw's so lame.
But Ravenclaws are like super
nice.
smart, though. Like, I don't know. Well, you're not in Hufflepuff, that's for sure.
What's Hufflepuff mean?
This is a different podcast.
Out.
Bless you. Okay, yeah. So, if you didn't listen to the first episode and you are somehow randomly just listening to the second one, the first episode was about some sex. Totally off of what I normally do, but I thought it'd be fun, and Jess is like the perfect person. I don't know, like if you know her,
I'm pretty open.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of fun. But the last one we kind of covered like period sex, shower sex, porn, masturbating, all that fun stuff. And I had looked up some questions online. A lot of them are really like raunchy. So like in the first episode, Sarah or any of my relatives, please God, skip over this episode and just go back and listen to the first couple. Like those are they're very positive, and just this one is just totally inappropriate. So I want to kick this one off because it's been number one on the list. We are going to talk a little bit about some anal. On this
We'll just jump right into part two.
Yes. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I don't know, like nowadays it seems like more people do it and more people prefer anal.
Talk about it more so.
Yeah, and like a couple of the girls that I talk to, like they like it more than like just regular sex. And I don't know, anal makes me very nervous. Like coming from a medical standpoint, like
don't talk medical.
Listen, like there's so much wrong that could come out of doing anal.
Lord.
And I just one time, so I used to be a patient care technician, and I worked at, I'm not going to say the hospital, but I worked at this one hospital whenever I was like fresh out of school. And we had this guy, so like on the computer screens, whenever we were waiting for them to come up, you could see like what they were coming in with. And this
did he shove something up his butt?
So it was a girl and a guy, and they were like, it was like their anniversary, and they were like being like spontaneous. And
don't be spontaneous with anal. Like that is not the thing to do.
Listen,
be spontaneous. Wear a wig. Like, don't start shoving things up your butthole. I mean, like, come on here.
So he shoved a magnet up her asshole. And
what
then
size? Like, I need a little bit more clarification about what this is.
It was like, I don't know, because I didn't see him because he didn't like come to my floor, but like you could like just see
one of those round horseshoe ones.
Well, listen, because he stuck a magnet like the opposite into his pee hole, and
no, I don't know. This is not spontaneity. This is, you guys were on PCP. I
was literally like fresh out of high school. Like I just graduated from PTI, and I was probably like 18, and I was like, obviously I mean I was having sex, but like I just didn't know that was like a thing.
That is a rare case. I remember on a TV show.
I remember reading the doctor's notes, and it was like spontaneous date night, magnet in rectal area and magnet in pee hole. And I'm like, oh my God. So I never even got to see them, and I'm so glad, because if they were completely what I like opposite of what I thought they looked like, I'd be extremely disappointed. But like that is just not something that I would ever think of. Like, don't go and stay. I don't think anything should go, and maybe that's me being naive and like,
no, your preferences. That's
I
fine.
just don't think, it just makes me nervous.
Well,
it just
first
makes me
of
nervous.
All, let's have a disclaimer for this podcast. Please don't be shoving objects up your butt, your vagina, your pee hole. Don't
like
do
his
it.
Pee hole?
Do some research on it. I mean, if you're into that, fine. But you get educated about that real quick.
Yeah, because
you
you
get
could
the right
puncture
sex toy.
for one.
You get the right thing that people.
And like if you don't use like lube, and people are like, yeah, just Vaseline and spit.
Yeah,
like there's no.
I'm still confused about this magnet situation. What do they think? It was just like gonna be like a sensation?
I don't know, and why, but
how did he get a whole magnet in his
Like-
pee hole? And I mean, I get her butt probably swallowed the little I'm just very confused. I need a
and
visual.
Like, the same thing, like,
Do you
can
have
I
any
see an
X-rays?
X-ray? Like, no. And then, like, another thing is, like, yeah, I just don't really know where that came from, but also, like, anal beads, that shit gives me the fucking creeps. Like, thinking about, like, multiple beads going up there, and then I don't understand. Maybe when I'm like older and I'm just like about to die or something, I'm gonna be like, yep, let's just do this right before I kick the bucket.
You definitely have to be in a mindset. Let's be honest. Like, you have to be in a full-on mindset.
Everything ready.
You have to be into it if the other person's into it. Like, you educate yourself. You check. Do not do it.
I don't even like the finger. Like, the finger don't you ever slip that thing near anything it is not supposed to
I'm
go.
not mad about it, but y'all gotta do your
it just makes me very
due
nervous.
diligence.
And I
can't
honestly
just be
think
doing
it's
stuff
because
like that.
of that story. Like, I just think that story has traumatized me. And for one, I was like younger, not super young, but like I was younger. But I was just
but
like
the chance,
Jesus Christ!
I don't know how
why would you do that?
One stupid person. There was two.
It was like 2 a.m. when I was working
in.
a night shift, and it was like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what the freaky shit was
They
going on?
They were on mushrooms, and they were like, "This is a great idea." None of that is a good idea at all. That's stupidity. Like, if you're gonna do it, just educate yourself, and there's toys and stuff you can buy online, and if you're interested in it, but hell no, don't be taking like objects around the house. I've seen things with light bulbs up their assholes. Like, what?
Like, out of your
made of
junk
glass,
drawer.
man?
Like, out of your junk drawer. Like, let me go get these magnets out of my side drawer.
Like, what? I'm very confused on why. Get yourself, read about it, watch some porn videos, go online, chat with a customer service representative from Adam and Eve. Please,
I think I need to speak
don't
to
take
someone.
it upon yourself.
I think I need to speak to someone who likes it and is comfortable with talking about it, because I would like to know what that sensation is. Like, I'm not going to get the full effect because I'm not doing it.
It's not like a scent. It's more so like the other person's really into it, so you kind of get into it too.
Oh my god, that makes me so sad.
But then it gets like, I know people who solely love, like, they do it and they love it. It does. It's a different.
That's all they want to do.
It's not like not so much. It is a different sensation, but you train yourself. In that
you
way.
train
like,
your butthole to
for sure.
do whatever. That is so god. While we're speaking about I've seen some crazy ass shit working in the hospital. So this is okay. So we're done with the anal, but this one guy that I took care of, he was older, and I have never, like, I've seen it. Not even seen it, but like penis implants. Like, I knew it was a thing, but I did not know that people actually did it. And then, like, on dodgeball, like, he pumped his penis like all the time with that thing.
Penis pump, but what's a penis implant?
So, like, I don't know what all entailed, because I didn't want to ask him, because he was like 80 years old whenever I was like taking care of him.
80 years old, got penis pump. Penis implants.
Yes. I don't think he got them when he was 80, but like he got them whenever he was like younger. Like, just to make, I guess maybe like he couldn't get a hard on, and so like he like had it, but like his wife was a bitch, so something was not. So what was a penis? I don't know. But so we were taking care of him, and he had diabetes, and he like did not take care of himself. So he was like a frequent flyer, and I saw him, but when we would like change him, like, it was like really awkward because he was always like had a hard on, and I was like, this is really awkward. Huh?
Was he on Viagra or something?
He had a penis implant, so
yeah,
it was
like,
just
so
up.
Literally
so I don't know
all
if
the time.
Yeah, like it was up all the time.
Oh.
So I don't know if it went wrong.
How
but, like,
did he
it was
like
just,
walk around with that his whole life?
Okay. I just said that he did not take care of himself.
Confused.
So anyway, so he had diabetes, and he like didn't take care of himself, and the doctor was like, well, if you don't take care of yourself, like, your limbs, like, that is like a real thing. So he came back, and the next time I saw him, his foot was gone, and I was like, okay, like, you got gangrene, whatever, your foot's gone. He stopped taking care of himself completely and got gangrene on his penis, and they had to surgically remove his penis.
I can't.
I was just very uncomfortable because, like, why?
So, and then
what?
he eventually.
So now you have nothing. And God rest his soul if this man is not alive anymore.
He
this
absolutely
was,
is not alive
this was
anymore.
like
He
a
lost
couple
his
years
foot and
ago.
his dick. He's done for.
It's so
His wife probably.
She was so mean, and I was just like, well,
his wife
obviously
probably-
he's not doing nothing to
his
her
wife
because she was
accidentally-
just like, shut the hell up.
Did something. She poisoned his IV.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that was like a bit much. Those 2 incidents in the hospital, I was like, well, I have definitely had enough of this. Side note, are you doing your house placement?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even, these questions are very intense, and like,
I did Nick's the other night while asking him, and he like, no, not even Nick. Oh, Nick and I are actually in the same house, but my cousin was up the other weekend, and I was asking her, I don't even think she's ever watched Harry Potter, but she was in Gryffindor, but I was just like, okay.
She's never watched.
No. And
I try to get Finn into it.
Does he not like it?
No, he does. It just, some parts are a little scary for him.
Yeah. And plus it's like
Voldemort scared the crap out of him, and he was like, and we had to like for 2 weeks be like, it's funny, he doesn't have a nose, he's so funny. Like,
oh my God,
we like had to make a joke. Yeah. We're like, it's just funny. He's just like, whoa, oh my God, he just looks like a toad. Or like we were trying to make him feel so much better about it, but he was just.
No, he was like, I'm not having it. Okay, so just a couple more questions that I had jotted down here. One is, and if you don't want to talk about it, we don't, but it's just embarrassing moments. If you've ever had one. I don't necessarily think I've ever had an embarrassing sex moment, but back in high school, I had been talking to this guy, and we're not naming anybody, but I was talking to this guy, and for one, it threw me off guard because when he picked me up from I was like at like rehearsal or something like that for the play. Like I wasn't in it, but I was just there like watching it.
And he like play that you weren't in.
No, I was like there. Like I was there whenever everything was going on. And so he picked me up, and when I got in the car, he was like midget. He was like shorter than me, and I was like, all right, this is gonna go completely not how I thought today was gonna go. But I rolled with it. He was nice, whatever. So we hung out like a couple times like after that, but I wasn't really feeling it. He wasn't my type. Well, the one day we had like got in his jacuzzi, and he only opened it up like halfway.
So you saw him more than once?
Yeah, I saw him maybe 3 times.
Oh my
4
God.
at the max. He was nice, I said. The shortness threw me off, but it was like whatever. So he opened up the jacuzzi, but he only opened it up halfway, so there was only like 2 seats showing, and he like kept trying to like do stuff, and I was like not feeling it. I was like, we're just friends, like your mom's making beans and hot dogs, like I don't want to do anything else.
What?
Like his mom's like on the grill, like just, and he's over here like real handsy, and I'm like, man, I'm not feeling this. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get out. So then he like grabs my legs and like pulls me to him and then licks my face. I said,
he licked your face.
He licked my face, and I was like, well, my brother has a baseball game, so I have to go.
Oh.
His mom's like, you don't want any food? And
You
I'm
don't want
like,
beans?
no. I was like, can you please take me home? And it was just awkward. And ever since, like, he has me blocked on everything till this day because...
This was how many years ago?
This was in high school. This was probably my sophomore or junior year in high school.
I need to see what this guy looks like.
I will show you in his... God.
What's he look like?
No.
Hufflepuff?
God, no. No, that was like, but I don't think I have any embarrassing moments, but that was like really uncomfortable for me, and I was like, well, we're not going to see each other
I've
again.
definitely been in situations like that.
Where you've been licked?
I've never been licked, but just
Jess,
like handsy people, and like you're like, okay.
He like dogged, like it was like a dog tongue, like completely up my face.
I'm like, really?
I was like,
where
wow.
he thought that was going.
Yeah, because it did not turn me on. It pissed me off, and I was
turned
like,
around and you're like licked him back.
I didn't do anything. I was like
and
this.
You guys start sniffing each other's butts, like
yeah, it was like a whole dog on dog thing, and I like started to like scooch back in the water, and I was like, well, I can't go very fucking far because the other side
and then his mom's over there making fucking hot dogs. I would be out. So
yeah,
take me
like,
home.
No, we're just not gonna talk anymore. And now,
No, I off the top of my head, I can't think of anything like embarrassing. Probably embarrassing for a man.
But not for you.
No.
Well, that's like a plus. So you've never been in a situation like
I mean,
that.
I've been in situations like that, but I like probably so much that I couldn't even pinpoint
I remember the first time.
a certain one. Like, I've been in very awkward situations. Like, the first time I made out with someone.
Oh, God. Did you have braces?
he had braces, I had braces. And I knew it was coming. And then he tried to, like, go up my shirt. And, you know, I had to have been, like, 13, 12. And I remember
Oh, my God.
my friends would call me mosquito bites.
Aww.
I had no boobs.
Because you had no boobs.
No, I was like a petite little...
Oh my God, so he went up to touch your boob and there was like just...
No, I was like, oh my God, I have a stomach ache. Like rolled over, rolled down the hill.
You're like, oh my God, my stomach's hurting, let me roll down this hill.
I literally remember just like rolling, because we were at a camp, we had like a sleepover camp. I went to the sleepover camp for a couple weeks, and it was girl guy, but then one night you get to sleep with girls, it's girls co-ed on a bridge. Okay. And we all had like established these like boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. Yeah. We had been going to camp with these same people for every year. So he was like my always summer boyfriend. And yeah, so this happened, and it was my first kiss, so I was like, first of all, braces on braces doesn't work very well. No. And it wasn't horrible, but yeah, I remember him, because everyone was like doing really intense stuff, like getting fingered and stuff, and I was like, and I never even like kissed someone, so I was like very intimidated by the whole situation. And yeah, he was like rubbing my stomach, like I think like he was like inching up there, and I think he wasn't really like, it's not like he was this like man whore, like he was like still he was probably young, like, and he probably was so nervous, and I just like
I'm dead. You said that you rolled down the hill. That literally
I rolled across.
Did he follow you?
And I just like rolled across some friends, and I was like, oh my
rolled across to your friends.
We were all in sleeping bags on the bridge.
And you're like just
like getting to my friend, just being like, hey, what are you doing? I don't feel good. Like totally making up that I didn't feel good. I mean, that was like my first ever God. But
I remember the first time whenever I was so young. I was probably like maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6, and it was the first time I ever had a crush. And it was like a family friend. Like we like all like we grew up together, and I always had this huge crush on him. And I had for Christmas I got this Blue's Clues tent. It was my favorite thing ever. It was so cute. And
how do you remember like 5 years old?
This is because of what my father said to me like after it. So we had kissed each other, and my dad, like, I don't know who told, but it wasn't me who told that we kissed, but like the guy told that we kissed. And then my dad's like, we're driving, and he was like, you don't ever swap spit with anyone, and you are too young to be doing that, so don't you put your mouth on things that aren't yours. And I was like,
oh wow,
like, wow.
Sex talk.
And like after that I wasn't allowed to date, I wasn't allowed to do anything. Like it was like this whole thing. I was like, geez, we just kissed in the Blue's Clues tent. I'm 5. Like
Blue's Clues tent.
That's the only thing I remember from my childhood, because my dad was so, he's like, you don't swap spit. And I would have
I like imagine Finn going to date or like kiss a girl, and I'd probably be dragging that girl's hair across my living room.
This 6-year-old girl, how old is Finn? 5?
I mean, I'm talking about when he gets older.
When he's older.
It's going to be really hard for me to accept that, but it is what it is. I want to be like the cool mom.
Yeah, for Mean Girls.
Just put some condoms in his thing.
On a plate.
Be safe.
Some condoms.
I mean, at least be safe. It's hard. Again, like, you think of what our parents went through, like, handling us having these hormones and going through these things. Like, it's very hard. Like, you don't know whether to talk to them about it. You don't know whether to confront them about it and make it like more
because they don't like because I know people, like some people, like the relationship with their parents are great and they tell them everything, but then there's like, I could not even imagine talking to my dad about that. That makes me almost sick to my stomach.
When I was younger, I never had that kind of relationship with my parents. Like, I was very I was just like, I was like angry teenager and like almost just rebelling. And now like I do have that open relationship with my mom, luckily, that I probably TMI like all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, well, you know, he likes butt sex, and like my mom's like, all right, Jess, I didn't need to hear that.
That's enough.
Like, you know, or she'll just be like, oh, okay, well, I dated a guy back in the day, like,
shut up.
but like that, it took a long time to get to that that point. It's not.
I don't even still think
treading those waters when your kid is like starting to do that, and you just like still think your kid's a baby and like young. I think it's gonna be.
Well, and then I think also it's different. Like
I'm happy I have
between
a boy over a girl.
I was gonna say a boy over a girl. It's like kind of easier.
But I will duct tape Finn's penis to his thigh.
You get a chastity
belt
belt.
Every time he goes out. Like, he ain't impregnated anyone on my watch.
Well, that's what I just think it's so different because it's like sometimes like, well, for dads it's
talking
different
to their
with
daughters.
their daughter.
Absolutely.
Because like it's like their son, he's like, oh my god, you had your first and you lost your virginity, oh my god, high five, here's a pack of condoms. But if it's a girl, you like, you whore, like why are you
but like I said, like I told you, my dad the first time he found out, I was like
AIDS.
Screaming about AIDS in a car, like I thought, or like I'm getting so pregnant, I'm AIDS, and I'm like, what is I was like profusely sweating. I was like
trying to get out of the car.
Literally like, can you unlock it? Did you child lock this car in the front seat? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I specifically remember, because I remember we were at the Swickley Bridge. Like, I remember exactly where we were. I remember how horrified I was, and just thinking of like trying to. Like, I probably will humiliate Finn a billion times, but I mean, as long as I try to implement like safe practices, and I mean, there's nothing you can do. It's part of.
And then, but I also think that
nature.
it's hard though too, because like, what if your kids like grow up with like a group of friends, and then like, you know how there's like one kid that like wants to fit in with everyone else, so like if they find out like, oh, you're having unprotected sex, oh, you just had a baby with her, well why not me, like test the waters?
It definitely does. I feel like
sometimes that happens.
Environmental like influences are a huge deal for some people, but also. No one was jumping to get pregnant after they saw Finn and Tyler and I get pregnant with Finn. Yeah. Like, I mean, no one was like, oh, we gotta get... Like, they saw a struggle. We got pregnant young. Like, it wasn't... not super young, but we were 25, and, we didn't have anything really established and, like, decide what we really wanted to do in life. So, like, I think people kind of saw the struggle and were like, well, just take our time. Yeah, which is probably we'll be the precautionary couple. But, like, we couldn't wait till our friends did. Have a child next week, please. So we have, like, friends hanging out with, have a baby. Yeah. But, like, I mean, I hope that people just learn from each other, not jump on board. Like, I hope Finn doesn't jump on board if
my kid does that, because like, like, there's kids like, if they say jump, they effing jump. No. I swear to God, I will murder everybody. Like, that is just what will happen.
No, I'd smack the shit out of them. Finn has mostly girlfriends.
All girlfriends.
Well, like, right now, like, he hangs out with a lot of girls, so I think that...
Yeah, oh my God,
but I think that makes him, like, more sensitive and, like, aware, and as opposed to...
And he won't be like, a douchebag whenever he gets older. Hopefully, like, that won't happen.
I'll beat the shit out of him.
All right, last question, and then we are all done.
Oh, Lord.
Have you ever cried during sex?
No.
I did not ever know that was a thing.
I've heard of people who do.
But, like, why? Like, is it just emotional because it's, like, great? Or are you sad because, like...
I think it's, like...
Or is it, like, you're so in love with them that it just... I don't know where that comes from.
Oh, God.
Like, the connection? That's never happened to me.
Or, like, a lack of connection.
Or, like, you go in expecting, like, this great sex, and then it's
just I don't
terrible.
even, like, but, like, dead ass, like, a lack of connection. Like, you're like, okay, I know I'm not gonna, like, move forward with this person, and I'm having sex with you just because I think that's, like, the next step in our relationship.
Yeah. But, like, what if it's the opposite way around? Like, what if you've been dating for a while, and, like, you get so anxious for you guys to have sex, and you, like, have this expectation that the sex is gonna be so great, and then you have sex, and then you're just, like, laying there, and then you're just sad because it's
like, Lord help me, if I cried or someone else cried, like, if someone cried during sex with me, I'd be like, do you need to go to the hospital? I'd be like, do I need to not...
Do you need to go to the hospital because you're crying?
301 year ass? Like, what is happening?
Are you a psycho? Like,
what is happening? I mean, no,
if you've ever cried during sex...
I've heard about it. My closest friends have told me that they have. So I don't want to
have they ever said why?
Yeah, so like, mostly because of, like, of a lack of, like, almost something. Like, they're having sex just because they think that's the progression in the relationship, but they're not really feeling it, but that person might, I think you might do some things that don't feel right and might get upset. That's where I'm taking that. That's how I'm concluding that in my brain, because I have had a conversation with, like, a couple close friends who said they have cried, and it's literally because they've just, like, felt like, okay, well, they know this person's not the one. They know this they've been single for a long time, or, like, they've been in and out of relationships, and then they meet someone new, and then they have sex with them, and it's just, like...
Yeah.
They know in those moments, like, hell no.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you are listening to this and you've ever had sex, please ever had sex and cried, please DM me and tell me why, because I would like to be nosy and know what the reason was.
I mean, I'm interested. Not that, like, we're not hating.
I'm not making fun. I'm just like...
It is...
I just don't
and
understand.
Also, people might do it because they're, like, super in love. Like, I've never felt that feeling before. I mean, not that I'm not so in love with my husband, but
Nick, it's not that I'm not in love with you. It's just...
Crying would be
I
the
just
last
don't understand.
emotion that I would feel.
Yeah,
But, like, I'm also not a crier at all. I don't cry for shit.
That makes me
I cried at Cheetah Girls when I got my period for the first time, and I think that's the last time I cried.
Well, why? Like, what? Like, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, and then it's me on the other hand. I cry at everything. Like, someone could say something wrong to me, and I'd be like, "Fuck!" Like, now I have to go.
Really?
Like, yeah,
I'm
like,
not a crier.
it's gotten a lot better, but like growing up, my dad was always like, "Don't cry. Like, don't cry. Don't cry. Like, suck it up. Suck it up." And I feel like that made me even more emotional because I'm like, "Why are you telling me not to cry?" So then I'm just gonna have a fucking meltdown because you told me not to cry.
I just never a crier, and like even now, like if I like get even a little bit like teary-eyed, I'm like, something's wrong. Like the whole life, like something's happening.
Like really happening.
Yeah, like
is the earth ending?
Yeah, because I do not cry.
Really?
I mean, what? We've been friends for over a year, and you probably have never. Have you ever seen me cry?
Well, also, I don't think I've ever seen you sad. Like, do you have emotions? Like,
no. Honest answer,
no.
No, I do have serious emotions, and it's anger and happiness. And
you don't ever just have a middle. Like, you just have one extreme.
It's like, I'm gonna put poison in your...
Oh my God.
I'm poisoning your drinks, or I'm your best friend in the world. And that's like my extreme.
Amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
no, I mean, that's God honest truth.
I mean, there you go. There you gotta have it. Well, this conversation of sex has come to an end. I think that it wasn't super intense because I did not ask some of the more intense questions
the
on
questions
here.
Were pretty,
maybe if we were both single and
we want to respect our partners.
Yeah, maybe if it was under different circumstances, I would definitely ask those. But I had a fun time, and thank you for being my first guest on my podcast. You'll have to come on again, and
I expect it.
Yeah, please. And for you guys, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Tune in and share and post. Do all the good things that you guys do.
Again, don't forget about that crying thing.
Don't forget about the crying thing, honestly.
I'm going to be asking Ayana every day.
Did someone message you? No, seriously. I just honestly would like to know why and what it, like, just what it is.
That, like, what got you to that point.
Yeah, so message me if you have had sex and it has made you cry. Please DM me. I will not share it on Instagram. If you're pregnant, because we all cry when we're pregnant. Right.
So.
Yeah, so, but, and then stay in touch and updated on this because in the middle of February, I want to do like a Valentine's Day giveaway. So just listen or just check out the blog because I'll be posting about that too. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. But the more you share, the better opportunities you guys have, just like last time. And I will talk to you guys next week. Thank you, Jess.
Bye.